Hey guys, we want to share today what our project was this semester as we tried to incorporate some of the things that we learned in organizational behavior to help transfer the Vision for All organization into something that's a more sustainable organization as it moves forward. And so to start that, we want to kind of show you guys a brief video that will kind of set the stage for what the need for an organization like Vision for All is. So I just want to highlight a few things that you might have caught in that video. These are just a few key points that were mentioned there that I think are important. So it mentions how worldwide there are 544 million people who could have their vision corrected simply from a pair of reading glasses and nothing more. And of the people in this world who need that vision improvement, over 90% of them live in the developing world, of which Ghana, which is the country we chose to focus on, is definitely part of the developing world. You'll also see here that uncorrected vision results in a $202 billion loss to the economy globally every year, and that if we are able to introduce improved vision, glasses can not only increase productivity for an individual, but can also increase their monthly income as they're able to see and function much better in their work.
So I'll tell you the current situation of Vision for All. Currently, Dr. Pugh and team, they collect reading glasses from different places, such as JetBlue donates glasses. They go to libraries and get any kind of reading glasses they can. Once they've collected all that they can, Dr. Pugh has some specialized instruments to find the measurements and the magnifications of each glass. Once that is arranged, they find volunteers to pay their way down to the destinations. Once they get to the destinations, they find people, usually mission presidents, who can help them find a good location and get the word of mouth out about what they're going to do. Once they're down there, they use the local churches, the facilities, and the missionaries. They set up boxes with each frame and its number, and they do the eye exam for each person. Once they do the eye exam, the missionaries will find the glasses that fit their prescription. If they're a non-member, they'll have them write down their address, and the missionaries will personally deliver them to their houses to get a good contact. If they're ward members, they just give it to them right there on the spot.
So as you can see from the previous video, what we're hoping to do with Vision Springs is just work with them, partner with them, and their basic model is a consultative wholesale approach. And what they do is they actually have a factory that produces low-cost glasses, and they can provide a lot more to those in Ghana. And so they actually sell those glasses for 5.5 CD or 1.25 US currency. And typically that will cover the cost of the factory which they have. And so they actually work with a lot of other nonprofits in order to get glasses to those in Ghana. And so they have a lot of partnerships going on right now. And so what we're hoping to do is actually work with them, and so we can be more successful. And so for our base model, what we're hoping to do is work with Vision Springs in order to provide glasses to those in Ghana at a cheaper rate, since Vision Springs has a factory that they can produce glasses with. And since we want to make it sustainable, we want to find local return missionaries in the LDS Church that are really familiar with Ghana and give them a part-time job selling those glasses, and so that it can be sustainable and that they can have that job while they are there long-term. We want to have a minor training and partnering with Dr. Richards, just so we can get the aspect of training those to assess glasses needs and tan those out and things like that. We want to establish a kiosk in Accra, more of like a hub, and then especially move towards a hub and spoke system where some employees will do an outreach and go out to the more impoverished areas. And then we want to allow the employees to have access to a dependable part-time job and have this sustainable, like I mentioned.
So as Addison just talked about, we have our base model of what we want to do in partnering with Vision Springs. We were probably wondering the why. So we did some interviews as well as surveys with missionaries and other people that had lived in Ghana for at least 3 months to get some of our market research. One quote that we loved is, it says, "If you want to hide something from a Ghanaian, put it in a book." It's their own saying. And so really these people have the need for the glasses. Like this statistic said, I'm not good at reading numbers, but that many people are illiterate, and that's the equivalent of the entire state of Arizona not being able to read. And Ghanaian missionaries would be a good candidate because they know the culture, they know the people, and we also learned from Dr. Robinson actually that most of Ghanaian missionaries, once they return home, they go back home to a more impoverished state than they were as missionaries. And so we want to give them this opportunity to be able to make some money as a part-time job in partnering with Vision for All and Vision Springs. Something interesting that we learned as far as the glasses go is that they do care about the frame and how they look. They want them to be trendy and look American. And they actually have a word, they call things China if they're cheap. They're like, oh, we don't want to buy this China. And so that's part of the reason that we thought it'd be good to partner with Vision Springs, because they offer new frames as opposed to donating, so they could actually use and bring trendy new styles.
So from those that we surveyed, we learned that the currency in Ghana is the CD, and about 4.5 CD is equal to $1 American dollar. And also in those surveys, we learned that it was proposed that the glasses are sold each pair for about an average day's wage. And that varies from being in an affluent area, more of the city like Accra, to the more rural areas. But we did learn that the average day's wage is about 24 CD. So we're looking at kind of the target range or target number to sell a pair of glasses at. We talked about basing our business in Accra. It's the capital of Ghana. But again, like we talked about, we want to do that wheel and spoke model to kind of reach out to those more rural areas that don't have quite as much access to the big city. Shipping's very doable in Ghana. DHL and USPS flat rate are the most reliable that we heard from the missionaries that served in Ghana. And printing advertising is also very big in Ghana. It's often very religious based, so you'll see a lot of stores that advertise like God's grocery store. But there is a lot of printed material and advertisement that goes around in Ghana. And the overall response of those that we surveyed was that this is very much needed service in business and that it would do very well.
Alright, so I'm just going to kind of summarize the project that we worked on. As we stated, our idea is to work with Vision for All and kind of mimic the model that we saw from Vision Spring. We want Vision for All, who typically donates reading glasses. We want to make this organization more sustainable, something that lasts longer than the people who are currently working with it. So the idea is to model after Vision Spring. What they do is they've created kind of an active market in the locations that they want to serve. So sell high volume, low margin glasses to people who need vision in Ghana. Consumer, pretty obvious, right? The channel. So this is one of the most important parts. Basically, we mentioned a hub and spoke system. What this means is that we'll have a central vision shop, like a kiosk in a busy market in Ghana. The place for this would be Accra. This vision shop would sell glasses and give eye exams and then sell glasses to the people. The spoke part of this system is that outreach missionaries or these vision entrepreneurs, these hired RMs that we train, they will go out to the neighboring villages and promote the glasses and kind of set up a pop-up shop, like a one-day shop to sell the glasses to the people who need them there. But it all starts with this central hub that can be kind of a warehouse for the glasses and a central location that the people know they can come to. One important fact, which is why we want this model to be sustainable, is that it actually costs a lot more to gather and ship and distribute donated glasses than just buying them wholesale from Vision Spring, hence the partnership with them. To sum up, we hope that Vision for All can make a transformation and become a sustainable nonprofit organization through key partnerships with Vision Spring.